Donald Trump has dragged us into a war the American people do not want. He has put American troops in harm's way. The American people do not want our sons and daughters to go into this unauthorized war.
And MAGA said that this was the woman who was going to start wars.
My Republican family voted against Kamala specifically because they said she was going to drag us into World War III. But look at what we've got going on right now. Not only is he tweeting out incendiary comments like, Tehran, you all need to evacuate immediately. I told you so. It's too late. Millions of lives are going to perish because Iran didn't sign the agreement that I took them out of the last time I was in office. And even last night, making comments, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Nobody knows what I'm going to do. That's literally an interview he just gave last night about something as serious as whether or not he's dragging our country into a war we did not start and do not belong in. He's taking it with such a flippant attitude, whether he's going to allow our country that already has our bombs dropping on Iran, whether we're going to go proactively participate in preemptively slaughtering tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands.
How many people live in Iran, by the way?
I don't know the population.
At all?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah,
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay, this is cute.
It's not even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government. You're the one who don't know anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the one who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that...
We're carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
We are supporting
Israel. High stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay.
In the past 24 hours, things have been happening crazily, and it has left the world trying to understand what is really happening. On the other side, we have Americans coming and speaking out about all this craziness that is going on right now. People have speculations. Some people saying that this is a World War III. Some people saying that Trump is just doing what is right because there's a subsection of Iranian, quote-unquote, government that doesn't like its own citizens. And we have seen footages of some Iranian citizens, celebrating about this. But the biggest question that people are asking, what about the lives of American children that has been sent to fight these wars? White Americans came and spoke about this. Why did I divide this as white American? I'll explain. I decided to divide this as a white American because we have majority of white Americans that voted for Mr. Donald Trump. And I think this was not equal when we talk about the black people and, these other groups. So my point is, white people are coming out and talking about this issue. And what they're saying is that they don't want Mr. Donald Trump to send their kids to wars. Number two, remember when people accused Kamala Harris of, starting a World War III? Well, if you get to look, or probably it might not seem like, but guess, this is just going that direction of what they said about about Kamala Harris. But hey, there's so much devastation that is coming. Honestly, I'm a person that doesn't support violence because there are devastating consequences that comes with wars. And I think we all know this. We all know that when there is a war in a place, it means that some lives has to be taken. And this has brought a lot of devastation to some of the Iranian citizens, the areas that are affected, and some of American soldiers that have been sent to fight these wars. And Americans, especially white Americans at this moment, they are calling out Mr. Donald Trump and telling them to stop sending their children to wars that doesn't benefit America. Because the war that America is getting it into itself, it doesn't help the Americans themselves. Because this, America has always been having, imperial overreach for the longest time. And this is something that it has done to Africa. Last year, sometimes back, it did it to Iran. I think you saw when Bernie Sanders was so much shocked when all this was going on. But brothers and sisters, I don't like talking about deep geopolitics, but again, you see, these are current things that are affecting the citizens of the United States, and I think it's imperative for us to just look at this critically and see all these things unraveling in real time. Brothers and sisters, I'm your host and presenter, Geopolitical Stories, and I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching me from. And I'm just asking you, if you're watching me for the first time, I'm asking you to please subscribe to the channel, join the membership, and really get what we can offer you. But until then, let's watch the video. I'll be back.
I've reached out to several of the president's most prominent supporters in his movement to get the reaction to this momentous decision to launch a wide-scale attack on Iran. I just heard back from Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, of course, spoke at the president's convention in 2024. He's been a frequent visitor at the White House. In fact, he was at the White House just last week. So I wanted to know what Tucker Carlson, who has long opposed the idea of another war in the Middle East, what he thought of this. And his answer, he told me the president's decision is, quote, absolutely disgusting and evil. This is Tucker Carlson, who was at the White House just last week, said that the decision to go to war with Iran is absolutely disgusting and evil. Now, that's just one person, a prominent one in Trump's movement. But this is a momentous and potentially defining or maybe redefining move for President Trump. He got into politics in part promising to end what he called forever wars. He was harshly critical of the war with Iraq. He claimed that he had always been against it. And now he finds himself starting what could be a major conflict with Iran.
Thank God our Prime Minister has declared that we're not having anything to do with it. We are not participating in it. It's an illegal war. We are not going to allow them to use our bases or any of our sites around the world. I doubt, Paul, one single country will rise up and join the Israel-US attacks on Iran.
Australia's backed it.
Yes, but will they join in? This is the Epstein wars. It's so that Trump has got a reason to stop the midterms, and Israel has got a reason to stop the October elections as well. This has got nothing to do with defending the Iranians. And remember, we cannot stop Iran from getting the nuclear bomb. They've already increased their uranium capacity to by about 50% since May, and they've hidden their capacity in the Isfahan mountains. Yeah. We can't stop Iran from getting the nuclear bomb. But this war is insane. If we're attacked, we'll have to defend our sites, obviously. But this is not our war. This is America and Israel's war, and I'm hoping it will peter out soon.
He just told the Iranian people, stay sheltered, stay home, don't leave your homes. It's dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. Those were his words. Listen to this mofo.
Finally, to the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take.
When we are finished, take over your government. And then he also said that this was something that you guys have been asking for. And finally, there's a president who's doing what you asked. Going over there and doing what they're doing right now. And then he said, take over your government. Can we ask for someone to come and do that here for us so that we can take back our government? I don't know how I'm going to be able to sleep, but I've got to try. Good night, my friends, and I will see you in the morning.
What did Zoran say? Oh, God.
Today's military strikes by the United States and Israel mark a catastrophic escalation in an illegal act of war, of aggression. Bombing cities, killing civilians, opening up a new theater of war. Americans do not want this. Americans do not want another war in pursuit of regime change. We want an answer to the affordability crisis. We want peace. Now, I may be a young mayor, but I am old enough to remember the devastating consequences of our country's pursuit of regime change in this same region not that many years ago. Now, my focus is on keeping New Yorkers safe. I've been in close contact with our police commissioner and emergency management officials. We are increasing agency coordination as well as patrols of sensitive locations out of an abundance of caution. And additionally, I want to speak directly to Iranian New Yorkers. You are a part of the fabric of this city. You are our students, our artists, our small business owners, our neighbors, our community leaders. You will be safe here.
Okay, that's actually pretty good. Thank God. I thought he was gonna. Thank God. Imagine he was like, hey, now is not the time. Guys, I want to keep Israel in my heart.
Israel is the only country on the planet that wants this war. The Chinese and the Russians are working overtime with the Americans to discourage President Trump from attacking Iran. The Europeans have no stomach for this fight. It's one country that wants this fight. It's Israel. And the Israelis have put tremendous pressure on President Trump to do something. And the problem that President Trump faces is that if he doesn't use military force, the Israelis and the lobby here in the United States will be outraged, and they will put great pressure on him and make him pay a significant price for not doing anything. So President Trump is in, one of these situations where no matter what he does, he loses. If he attacks Iran, he loses because he can't win a meaningful victory, and he runs the risk of a protracted war. But if he doesn't attack, he'll be castigated by Israel and by the lobby. The situation we're now facing is a huge blunder on Trump's part. He boxed himself in. He thought he could be Mr. Tough Guy, send this armada to the Middle East, and get the Iranians to cave. Anybody who knows anything about Iran could have told you that this was just not going to work. The idea that the Iranians would cave into threats from Trump because of what happened to President Maduro in Venezuela is not a serious argument. He goofed big time, and now he's in a box.
Who remembers these little signs right here? These were used as propaganda during the Trump-Vance campaign to entice fools to vote for Donald Trump. Well, how's that vote working out for you now? You guys happy with your vote? You were so worried that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz were going to destroy the country and get us into wars. Well, look where we are now.
If there's ever a time to be at war with Iran, it is right now. Look, I think the Trump administration is the biggest threat to our democracy, okay, but I can also recognize that Iran is the biggest threat to the world. It's no secret that Iran has enriched uranium, okay, and if your response is like, well, why do we get nukes and not them? Okay, fair question, but they just murdered over 30,000 of their own protesters in the streets in just a couple days. Say what you will about the Trump administration, at least they only murdered a couple protesters. Point being, I don't want to find out what else an unstable regime is capable of. Iran literally has a doomsday clock in the middle of Tehran that counts down to the year they've prophesized the destruction of Israel. Yes, I know, haha, many of you would cheer for that, but that kind of proves my point, doesn't it? I'm just saying, ask 90% of Iranians, they are begging for a regime change. Now, do I think we're the guys to do it? Absolutely not. Trump literally ripped up the Iran nuclear deal and then failed to negotiate anything in its place. He's like a pyromaniac trying to put out the fire that he started. But the point still stands, there is a fire, and if you have a solution other than waiting till it spreads to all of their terrorist proxies around the world, I'd love to hear it.
MAGA, it is now your time to shine, to show Donald Trump how patriotic you are, how you are a true patriot of this country. I want you to show him that you are proud to be an American, you are proud to be MAGA, and a diehard Republican. So what you need to do is go to your local branch, your local military branch, whether it's the Navy, the Army, the Air Force, the Marines, and get in there, talk to the recruiter, and say you are signing up right now, that you are a true patriot that Donald Trump wants you to be, and that you're going to sign up and you want to go to Iran, and that you have no bone spurs that will hold you back. And tell that recruiter you are an American, that you want to fight for this country, that you want to be on the front line and you are ready to roll. That back home you have that flag in the back of your diesel pickup truck and you drive it all on them dusty roads, and that you want to make America first.
The death toll in the Israeli attack on the Iranian elementary school has officially gone up. The number of casualties from the Shajara Tayyibeh girls' elementary school in Iran has gone up to 108 little girls killed. You know, Iranian parents had just dropped their kids off for class that morning when the US began dropping bombs on Iran. Their children had just entered the school. Imagine dropping your children off somewhere that you thought that they could be safe, only for them to be minutes later buried under rubble and dying. The little girls at this school were between the ages of 7 and 12. 7 and 12 years old. These were literal children. There were 170 children in that building when they were attacked. 170, and now 108 of them are confirmed dead. That is 64% of them. 64% of the girls in that school are dead. The rest are buried under rubble. This is the largest mass casualty of the US-Israel attacks on Iran, and they are children. And at this point, God knows how many more bodies they're going to pull out from under the rubble.
More than 100 children are dead after strikes hit a girls' elementary school in southern Iran today. Parents dropped off their daughters for class and then ran back when the bombing started. They found smoke and broken concrete and children who never made it home. There is no way to talk around that. A school was hit and kids were killed, and Donald Trump ordered these strikes. He announced major combat operations and told the public that this was necessary. He tried to look strong and act like this was some part of his leadership. But when the outcome includes a destroyed elementary school, it's fair to question that judgment. The language of national security does not erase what happened inside that building. The timing also matters. Trump is under legal and political pressure in the United States. Now the country is focused on war. Military action has a way of shifting attention and changing the conversation. While Americans argue about strategy and threats, Iranian families are burying their children. This war is funded with American tax dollars. People here are told that there is not enough money to go around for housing and healthcare and student debt relief, yet there is always funding for bombs and deployments. That is a choice. It reflects our priorities. It tells working people what their government values most. Trump has justified the strikes by claiming Iran poses an urgent threat, including missile capabilities that could soon reach the United States. Reporting from PBS and PolitiFact has pointed out that U.S. intelligence assessments suggest that Iran is years away from having that capability. Experts have questioned how immediate the danger really is. When a president describes threats as imminent, but intelligence assessments suggest otherwise, who are you supposed to believe? People have a right to be skeptical. None of this requires defending the Iranian government. The regime has repressed protests and killed so many of its citizens. Many Iranians oppose their leadership, but bombing a girls' school does not help those people. Civilians who already live under an authoritarian system are now living under airstrikes. There is a long history of U.S. wars that were sold as necessary and turned into prolonged suffering for ordinary people. Iraq and Afghanistan are both recent examples. In both cases, leaders promised stability and security. Civilians paid the price for years. When another president launches strikes without any clear congressional approval and with contested intelligence claims, people are justified in being pissed off.
So it's 1 a.m. and Donald Trump just responded to Iran's latest threat toward the United States, saying if they attack us, he will hit them with a force they've never seen before. At 12:25 in the morning, Donald Trump said, Iran just stated they are going to hit very hard today, harder than they've ever hit before. They better not do that, however, because if they do, we will hit them with a force that has never been seen before. Thanks for your attention to this matter, Donald J. Trump. Now, the United States continues to fire missiles at Iran. There's no indication that that's slowing down anytime soon, but Iran has already started some form of retaliation. They've targeted places in Jordan, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, and more. It looks like they're planning to expand that map and target even more locations. And so far, there have been no American casualties, which is great. My number one concern in all of this is American service members in the Middle East. I mean, they are the targets for Iran right now, but thankfully, nobody injured as of now. So I will keep you updated on all of this. It is very fast moving. It changes by the second. It's crazy, but man, just another awful day in Donald Trump's America.
So brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from whatever you're watching me from. Again, I'm your host and presenter, HTech Stories. And look, like I just said, there's so much going on right now because we are getting to see Mr. Donald Trump using his own power to do what we call the imperial overreach. And quotes and quotes, I think we've seen the Iranians trying to come out and, some of them have been talking about this. And there's a reception. There's a true reception. There are those people that are still proud of Mr. Donald Trump. As white Americans, they're so much proud of Mr. Donald Trump. And we also have this group of people that they are not proud of Mr. Donald Trump because at the end of the day, their kids are in the battlefields. But, well, good news is that all those missiles that were sent to get all these American soldiers, it didn't hit them, at least as per now. I don't know. I might be wrong, but according to the sources and information that I got, that's what's really going on at the moment. But let's talk about something that is crazy. And this is American imperial overreach, right? The United States has always been in the middle of what is happening to other countries, to other nations. And this has caused devastating effects. One, Donald Trump doesn't give a damn about American citizens. For the longest time, he has never given a damn about American citizens. And in so many instances, this has always revealed itself. One, by choosing to use American resources, the United States resources, to fund wars, to buy nuclear weapons and everything that is going on over there. But remember, white Americans are calling themselves out because they are getting to see that they are the ones who chose this. They are the ones who supported this. But the biggest question that still people are asking themselves is this one. People are asking themselves one question, and the one question that people are asking themselves is, why don't Mr. Donald Trump just be human and stop all this imperial overreach? Hey, look, there's a part of history in Iranian that I understand that is going on right now because I've seen Iranians on the street, some of them celebrating what the United States has done. But hey, look, what has this has to do with Americans? One of the biggest questions that people are asking that right now, and this shows you the imperial overreach that the United States is always having, always trying to flex its military muscles towards other people and trying to show them how sovereign they are towards them. And this has caused America a lot of problems. Because remember a time when people say that Kamala Harris is the one who will start the World War III. And I think there's just something deep beyond just World War III. That's something deep. And probably that's speculations that there is a game that these people are trying to play. There is a game that these people are trying to play that is confusing the citizens. And maybe all these are theatrics. I don't know, right? I don't know, because sources are coming out trying to explain to people, trying to explain to you that all these that you see are happening right now, they are some things that probably they are planned. They are things that they are planned and they are happening in accordance to how they're supposed to be happening. But white Americans are saying that, hey, you all stop with that game. You can't play games with our kids. We can't be sending our kids to all those wars. Because first, it's not worth it. We chose you. You failed to deliver as the president of the United States. You failed to deliver for us. And right now, we cannot use our resources. We cannot use our kids to do to you what you want us to do to you. And so, man, I'm trying to figure it out. And what I'm just saying here is that the imperial overreach, trying to prove to people how powerful US is, the United States is what's going to be costing the United States big time. Because you get to understand that none of this is not benefiting American citizens. And our biggest question, what is the need of all this if it doesn't benefit your own citizens? Because you realize that it's one of the problems with the United States right now. The citizens can't even afford basic needs because the United States, it's spending its money. It's like a person who has a purchase disorder. You don't even care about your citizens. You care about your imperial overreach. You care about your military muscles and how you can flex them to other people. And I don't know. This is just crazy. This is just crazy. And bearing the fact that we are at a time when people are looking back, when people voted for Mr. Donald Trump, like people were so much proud of Mr. Donald Trump when they voted for him. And you'll see all these things are happening. And what do you have to say? Because until this moment, I feel like there's so much dissections that needs to be looked into account. Because we have Iranians that are celebrating what is going on right now, and we have Iranians that are so much sad about what is going on right now, and we also have all these American citizens that are complaining about the safety of their kids and that are complaining about how Donald Trump doesn't help them with all this fight that is going on, which is true. Get to understand at the end of the day, as you as a citizen, how is Mr. Donald Trump trying to help you? How is he trying to help you with all that's going on right now? Because I'm trying to understand, how does this help American citizens? Because you see, that those kind of like courts and courts wars that you gotta leave to their own citizens. Let them sort it out until it reaches a point that it's now massive and it's so much alarming. You can get into it. I don't know. So please let me know what you think about this video. And we are up for all these discussions. So please let me know what you think about this. I'm your host and presenter, Agentic Stories. But until then, I'm hoping to see you on my next video. If you're new to this channel, I'm asking you to please subscribe to the channel, join the membership, and really get to see what I can offer you. And for those who are always coming back, supporting my channel, man, I'm grateful for the support that you are giving me, because you are one of the most important people that I have, because without you, I won't be talking to you right now, because you support me and we find a way. Maybe we disagree, maybe we agree, but at the end of the day, we find ways of just communicating, right? So brothers and sisters, thank you for your time, and be much blessed. Be much vigilant. Look at the news. Be much safe. Man, I don't know what might happen next, but I'm just hoping that we are all going to be safe from whatever we are. And I pray for peace. I pray for peace in the US. I pray for peace in Iran. I pray for peace in Israel. Because at the end of the day, all this craziness needs to stop. What's happening between US, the relationship that the US and Israel have, it's something that needs to be looked into. But brothers and sisters, all I say is that please stay safe for whatever you are. I really don't know what might happen next. From the news that I'm getting, Iran might retaliate to the US. I don't know. Mr. Donald Trump is saying that he's going to respond strongly to what's going on. So brothers and sisters, stay safe from whatever you're watching me from, right? Until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.